And welcome back to the Focus Fight Finish podcast. I'm your host, Tony Reyes. That intro just keeps getting longer and longer, and I feel like eventually I'm just going to be like the guy on the Mexican channels when he says goal, you know what I mean? I'm Mexican, so I can say that kind of stuff. Don't get crazy in the comments, all right? You know, when he's just like, goal! You know what I mean? Welcome back! Okay, no, I'm not going to do that twice. You know what I mean? We're getting a little crazy. I'm getting a little comfy in the podcast chair, but I think that's a good thing. I feel like, you know, we're getting a little loosey-goosey. I feel like I'm being my truer self, which might be a bad thing to you. But I think, you know, if you go back to the first episode of this podcast, maybe I was acting completely different. I don't know. I just know, like, for me, I feel more comfortable. I'm like, oh, we need to record a podcast. Boom, let's just do it real quick. You know, I was about to record. My girl, Olive, our newborn, was sleeping. Well, she's still sleeping. But I was about to just record while she was napping. I would have never done that in the beginning. You know, I'd have been too worried about, like, being loud or, like, what if she stops? I have to stop midway through. I'm like, it's all good. We're just having a conversation. If I have to stop midway through, I just pick it right back up. But I don't feel that way now. I feel very comfy. I'm comfy dumpy, baby. Okay? I'm a comfy dumpy baby. Yeah, I'm getting weird. I'm a goofy guy. I'm a silly goose, as they say. Okay, so we're gonna do a little update on where I'm at. Today is, first of all, thank you for listening. I appreciate it because like I said, I really enjoy this podcast, and I enjoy sitting here, whether it's 20 minutes or it's an hour and a half. Last episode was a doozy. I had my first guest on, and the feedback that I got from that was awesome. Apparently you like guests, all right? Apparently my audience is like, hey, we've had enough of it just being you. Get some guests on this thing, all right? It's not all about you, Tony, even though it is your podcast. I digress. Last week was a great episode. I got to interview Danny Mabley, who is just like awesome. He's just such a nice guy. And if you've been following us on Instagram, he's been sharing a bunch of the stuff that I've been posting, which I just did not expect him to do, sharing my videos to his massive audience. You know what I mean? Like that's really nice. And he does not have to do that by any means. And he is, and he's just a great guy. And so, yeah, we're just, you know, we're cooking along. We had one guest. That's our first guest. And we started with a banger. You know what I mean? Like, that's sick. That's a great way to start. So, next week, we're going to have another incredible guest. This week is just myself. I am so sorry to disappoint. It is just me this week. So I'm just sitting here in my office all by my lonesome. But next week, sheesh, okay? Just wait. Just you wait. It's going to be a beast of an episode. All right. I want to give you a little update on where I'm at with my weight loss journey. Today is day 48 of the Relentless 100. If this is your first episode or the first time you've interacted with me and you don't know anything about the Relentless 100, the Relentless 100 is basically a challenge that I set for myself to focus on my weight loss and my health for 100 days straight. So no cheat meals, no alcohol, hitting the gym 6 days a week, meditating every day, drinking a gallon of water every day. And I would say most days I'm operating at 100%. I haven't had any cheat meals. I have missed days where I know I did not drink enough water. Yesterday, I completely forgot to meditate. Like, just straight up did not meditate, forgot. Which is hilarious to me because yesterday was a day where I needed it the most. Yesterday was a rough day, and we're going to get into that. But, yeah, so, you know, the Relentless 100 isn't about just doing everything perfectly all the time, right? It's not about that. It's not like, oh, if you forget to do one of the things you said you were going to do on day 7, you have to start back over on day 1. It's not about that. That's not a healthy way to look at yourself. No one's perfect. You're not going to have a perfect day every single day. The point is to put an emphasis on those things. The point of the Relentless 100 is to put that at the forefront of your mind. What are the goals that you want to accomplish? And that's what you are setting out to do every single day. Whether you hit them every single day or not, it's really up to you. And like I said, I'm not perfect. I've had days where I've missed things. But overall, I am focused on these goals. I am focused on my 100-day journey, and that's what I'm doing, is to reignite my weight loss and to refocus on the things that are important to me. And so those things that I mentioned, drinking a gallon of water, meditating, working out, no cheat meals, no alcohol, those are things that are very important to me. And I just, they need to be at the forefront of my mind. And they are. Whether or not I hit those every day, it is what it is. But at least that is what I'm working on, and that's what the challenge is all about, is whether you fail or not, you have to be relentless about it, and the next day show up, and the next day show up, and the next day show up. That's what it's all about. I had a bad day yesterday, and you know what I did today? I showed up, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Nobody's perfect, so get that out of your head. I'm passionate about this because I've seen some people talking about like, oh, the Relentless 100 is unhealthy. You're setting unrealistic expectations of what a journey's about. Hey, man, I never said that you had to be perfect. The Relentless 100, the whole meaning behind being relentless is acknowledging that you're going to have trials and tribulations, that you're going to have challenges, that you are going to fail along the way. You're going to stumble. The whole point of being relentless, you wouldn't have to be relentless if you didn't face challenges. Relentless wouldn't even exist if a challenge didn't exist, if failure didn't exist. It's when you're faced with that and you decide to be relentless, even still, that's what the challenge is all about. So why did yesterday have a bad day? I had a rough mental day yesterday. And this is something that I talk about a lot. And it's like, maybe you're tired of hearing it. But like I said, this is my podcast. And it's something that I'm passionate about. And it's something that I feel like I have a responsibility to share. It's nothing even as crazy as like, oh, I had a cheat meal or I went nuts. I just had a really bad mental day where I felt like I was 400 pounds again. I just felt all day super bummed out, super depressed, not happy with myself. And it was a hard day to be me. Do you know what I mean? Which is like a ridiculous thing to say because like, I don't know if you've ever felt this. Whoever you are listening to this right now, I don't know if you've ever felt that way. Like, it's just a hard day to be me today. It's a hard day to be in my body right now. It's a hard day to be a human today. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a hard day to be, without getting too existential there. It's just like, I don't know how your anxiety or your depression or your negative self-talk, how it manifests itself. For me, it is a very negative bully that is in my head that says some pretty rude and intense things that if I said that to anyone, they'd be like, oh, I'm not talking to you anymore. You're a bully. But for some reason, I have no problem saying that kind of stuff to myself. And yeah, I just it was a hard day. Typically, when I have hard days like that, I go to the gym and I work out, and everything's better. Almost always, when I'm having a hard day, I work out, and I am just nothing else matters after that. I'm having a great day because I got in a workout and I feel good, and that was not the case at all yesterday. I actually felt worse after my workout, which is the worst feeling. To get a workout in and then to not have that like post-workout feeling, you're just like, oh no, I thought this was supposed to work. Why am I still feeling this way? This is not good. So, that is what I was dealing with yesterday. And I guess why I'm passionate about talking about this is because anyone can see the before and after that I post and just think, oh, he used to be 406 pounds and now he's not, and now he's happy. That's all you need to do. You just need to lose a bunch of weight and then you'll be happy. And that's not the case. So much of this journey comes from a mental transformation. I talked a little bit about it on my Instagram. But so much of this journey comes from your mental transformation and not your physical transformation. Like, your physical transformation is important. It's cool. It gets the clicks. People are excited about it. That's the thing that people are going to share and like save to their Instagram folders for like motivation. Like, oh, I want to look at that before and after to get like motivated again. I know because I've done that. I've been there. But those before and afters, there's so much story between those two pictures. And there's so much going on in the quote unquote after picture that you don't know about. And that's what I'm talking about here. That's why I continually expose myself, or whatever you want to call it. I'm continually vulnerable on any bad day that I have, because it's important for someone to that is following me and is taking inspiration from me or taking lead from me, that like, it's not all perfect, and that's normal. Not every day is a great day, and that's normal. Not every day you're going to feel relentless and like a beast and doing all this stuff, and that's normal, because I don't. And, I feel like if I talk a big game in the relentless way, I need to talk a big game in the negative self-talk way, and I need to show you both sides of who I am, so that way you don't paint the wrong picture in your mind. Because what I would hate is to keep all that negative self-talk and those tough moments that I have along this journey. I would hate to keep those private, and then you think I don't suffer from that kind of stuff, and then you suffer from that kind of stuff, and then you think badly or even worse about yourself because you're like, oh, well, why can't I be like Tony? Because Tony never has a bad day, or Tony doesn't struggle with this stuff. He just made a change. He flipped the switch and he lost weight, and now everything's great. And now, like me, I'm not doing it and I'm struggling, and something must be wrong with me. And I don't want that. There is nothing wrong with you. It is so normal along this journey to have ups and downs, good days and bad days, days where you feel like a freaking beast, a champion in an arena, and there are days where you feel like the bug on a windshield. It just happens. It's a ebb and flow, and it's just part of it, and I think it's important to talk about. It sucks to talk about. It's not like exciting or fun, but I think it's important. Here's a weight loss tip. These things have gotten me off of soda completely. These sparkling ice, I get them at Costco. Not sponsored, by the way. I'm all out of my other sparkling water that I love, but it's pretty good. This is lemon lime, 0 sugar. Tastes exactly like Sprite. Like, I've never done a taste test, but from what I remember, this thing tastes exactly like a Sprite, and it's so helpful on a day where I feel like a soda, but I don't want to drink soda. Boom. We got it. We got those hacks, baby. We hacking it up. That is a good tip, though. That stuff is good. So the negative self-talk, I just, to wrap that up, I just feel like if you're having a bad day, if you're talking bad about yourself, that is easy to do. And I want you to know you're not alone. And I have to actively tell myself, I literally talk to myself, Anthony. I don't call myself Tony. I say, Anthony, you stop being mean to yourself. Imagine if one of your friends asked you for weight loss advice and you said the things to them that you say to yourself. You would have 0 friends. I am my own bully. I am my own worst critic. And I am so freaking mean to myself sometimes. Some of the things that I say to myself, you would never speak that way to another human being that you cared about. And so what I'm trying to focus on is talking to myself like I would talk to one of you. Talking to myself how I would talk to a friend that was asking me for weight loss advice. I wouldn't call them disgusting. I wouldn't call them a lazy piece of shit. I wouldn't say you're never going to change. I wouldn't say, why are you even doing this? You're obviously just going to fail. I would never say those things to someone else. I would never say those things to you. But I have no problem speaking that way to myself. And I'm working on it. And it's hard. And days like yesterday are hard because I keep that talk up, and it's like a vicious cycle where I just like keep feeding it and feeding it and feeding it. It's like, dude, you just got to stop, man. You just got to stop. You got to get out of that. Cause you can just, you can spiral really quickly, And so, yeah, I did not meditate yesterday, and I don't know why I didn't. I don't know. I should have. Yesterday was a day where I absolutely needed to meditate, and maybe that would have helped. But, like I said, today's a new day, and that's what the Relentless Challenge is all about. I had a hard day yesterday. A lot of tears were shed yesterday. But today I woke up, took my son to school, I went to the gym, and I felt phenomenal. I felt strong. I felt good. And there was really nothing different. There's nothing that I did differently today versus yesterday. I just felt different. And so that's what I mean, where it's like sometimes you just have a bad day, and that's okay. So anyway, that was way longer than I thought it was going to be. But like I said, it's important. It's important for me to say that kind of stuff. So especially if there's younger listeners out there, like, it's like if you're in high school, here's what I hate. I hate when if you're like, you're young and you're going through something and someone says, oh, it's not going to matter, in 30 years or whatever. It's hard to hear that because it's like, well, it's all relative. It's important to you right now. And so, if you're going through something, it's important, and it's important to address it and not just like push it to the side. Because I feel like I spent a lot of my life just pushing my emotions to the side. Like, it's fine. I'll make a joke out of it. It's fine. And then, you hit your late 20s or your early 30s and you're like, it's not fine. Everything's coming back. So anyway, that is my negative self-talk for the day. So I was having a conversation with Aaron Guyett, who is the master trainer, master coach from LivingFit, is the company that I'm the creative director for. And we're filming last week in LA. Every day he was just working. I mean, I was basically making him do every single exercise movement for a minute at a time. And he had to do like kettlebell swings for a minute, and then I'd film it, and then he'd have to do kettlebell snatches, and then battle ropes, and resistance bands and body weight movements, and he was basically filming nonstop like that, a minute on and basically a minute off for 5 days, 8 hours a day. When I tell you I was impressed by this guy, it's insane what he physically did last week. And it's all for our app, for our website, LivingFit. Short little promo for LivingFit. It's basically a bunch of workouts that you can do, programs. We have equipment, nutrition plans. It's a great tool if you're on a weight loss journey. I'm their creative director, and I'm slowly implementing a ton of my own creative work into it. One of which was, things like last week, filming this huge shoot basically for us. And it was awesome. It was a great week. It was a great week of filming. Got a ton of stuff done, a ton of new content coming to the site. And that is very, very exciting for me because I get to like see my own spin on things. You know, they've been filming their content one way for a long time, and now I'm coming in basically changing everything and doing it the way that I think will serve the company the best way. And I'm excited to see that play out. So that's what I was doing last week. But anyway, that is a little promo for LivingFit. Anyway, so Aaron Guyett, he is he's a Marine, he's an instructor, he's been a coach for decades, like he's been in fitness forever. And he was talking to me, we're having this conversation on the way to LA and in the car, and he said something interesting. And it was like, he was looking at all my content that I was posting on Instagram and on YouTube. And he said, Tony, like sometimes maybe you focus too much on the stick and not the carrot. Sometimes you focus too much on your past self and not being not being who you used to be, and less time focusing on who you want to be. And I think that's like a really fair assessment of the type of stuff that I talk about a lot. I talk a lot about not wanting to be who I used to be and not wanting to be my old self, that stick, the thing that's carrying the main goal. But I don't talk enough about the main goal, about the carrot. I'm focused too much on the stick, and I'm not focused enough on the carrot. The carrot being, who is that person? Who is that highest potential version of myself? What does he do? Who is that guy? And just embodying that carrot mentality and embodying that person, and not worrying about the stick anymore, not worrying about that past self, because it's like I'm never going to go back there. So like now let's just focus on the carrot and not so much on the stick. And I thought that was like, yeah, just a super fair assessment of my mindset, and I think a big hole in my mental game. And when he said it, I was like, what? What do you mean I focus on, like, I'm, Mr. Positivity. But if you're constantly talking about not wanting to be your past self, that's like setting up this like negative thing. I don't want to be that, rather than I want to be this. You set it up with a negativity, and it's going to continually pull you towards the negative. It's not that I don't want this. It's more so that I want this. I do want this, not I don't want that. And, it's just these little small, subtle changes in a weight loss journey that I think are really impactful. And, I say it all the time. It's kind of the same thing when it comes to food or nutrition. Don't worry about saying, oh, I can't have this or I can't have that. I can't have donuts. Instead say, oh, I do want apples. I do want water. I do want quinoa, or whatever it is. Focus less on, taking things out of your diet and more putting things in that are nutritious. That kind of same mindset, focusing on the positive, I think like blew my mind. And I was thinking about it. We talked about it a lot. And yeah, I was like, wow, I have really been focused on the stick and not on the carrot. And I am now trying to, it's going to take time, right? Nothing just changes overnight. So it's going to take time for me, especially because it's so built in for me to think about the stick, that I'm going to have to really try hard to focus on the carrot and not the stick. But I'm going to do it, because I think that's such a positive change in my mindset moving forward. So just a little tidbit of information from my man, Aaron Guyett. He's awesome. Definitely go follow him. He's just a freaking beast, man. Like, the dude worked out for 8 hours straight for 5 days and didn't complain once. Like, give me a break. Okay. Sick. Super sick. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by BPN, aka Bare Performance Nutrition. This company is phenomenal. I've been working with BPN for a long time. I've been taking BPN products, all their supplements, for a long time before I was an ambassador for them, but now I am an ambassador, and what that means is I got one of those fancy codes that hooks you up with a discount, and it helps me out, helps this channel out, helps this podcast out, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate when you use code FOCUS at checkout. I take all their supplements, like literally every single supplement that they offer, I take. And they are actually launching a brand new supplement called Peak Sleep, which is going to help you get deeper sleep. It's going to help you go to bed. And I cannot wait as a new parent to get this supplement. I haven't tried it yet, so I can't tell you exactly how it is. But I always talk about my true feelings about this thing and about all BPN supplements. I'll tell you everything I use, why I use it, and if I like it or if I don't like it. But I can't wait to try Peak Sleep because I need some better sleep. As a parent, you know, holy cow, I need some better sleep. It is crucial. Okay, vital that I get this Peak Sleep supplement. So March 14th, it is launching. I'm very excited about it. And use my code FOCUS at checkout. It saves you money and, like I said, helps me out greatly, and I really appreciate it. Click the link in my description or use code FOCUS at checkout. Thank you. So now it is time for my Q&A. This is where I pull comments from my YouTube channel and I answer them here on the podcast. Now, didn't get a lot of comments, or got a lot of comments, but not a lot of questions. And so I appreciate that too, but I wanted to go through some and comment on some of the comments that I got, even though I don't have really questions per se. I do have a lot of comments. So this one is from Bobby Byram. Actually here for you, bro. So during the Danny Mabley episode last week, if you missed it, I highly recommend you go listen to that episode. I was talking to Danny. I was like, hey, if this is your first time here and you're listening to this podcast, most likely you're here for Danny. Like, let's not get it twisted. The dude has a huge following. You're here for Danny, but not my man, Bobby Byram. Thank you, Bobby. He is here for me. I really appreciate that. Been struggling with a 23-pound weight gain over 6 months. Long story short, injured my hip, then spent a lot of November and December in and out of hospitals between my injury and my dad almost dying twice in back-to-back surgeries. I lost my focus and my motivation. I'm hoping that this will help me get back, in my journey. Was down 85 pounds. Now, if anybody understands a weight gain, hi, it's me. It is what it is, man. It's part of life. You've obviously been going through a lot of life lately, you know, a lot of tough life moments there, and it's going to happen. The problem that I run into is that I let it get me so down, and I let it get me affect my mental space so much when I think about the weight that I gained, because I think about the time I've wasted. But it's not really wasted time, because I was doing things in life that I'm very happy about. I was doing things in life that I loved. It's not like a complete waste of time. It's tough to let that sink in that you've gained weight, but you experience a lot of life, and the most important thing is you're taking a lot of lessons away, and that's what we cannot discount. Whether we gain weight or not, we're pulling a ton of lessons from that time, and I know I am. The other portion of this that I wanted to bring up is you guys are making friends in the comments. You know what I mean? Like, you are all having conversations with yourselves in the comments, and I'm here for it. Because Mindy Tunnel, who has been a listener of this podcast for a long time, following me on Instagram, freaking awesome support. Mindy says, I think the important thing to reframe this, you're down 60 pounds. You're down 60 pounds. And then she goes on to talk a lot, but you know, it's super supportive to see someone post a comment and then you read that comment and then you post something else to support them. That is awesome. And yes, Bobby, while you may have gained weight, you're still down 60 pounds. Like Mindy said, that is incredible. And that is something that I've had to continually remind myself as well. I'm in the same boat, man. I'm in the same boat. I was down to 250 and then I got back up to 302 and now I'm down at 290, but it's still something that I have to continually remind myself. And that's something that I was talking about a lot yesterday in my head, was like, oh, I'm still at 290. I still got another 40 pounds to go before I'm even down to where I was, like this time, like a year and a half ago. And like, wow, like why, how did I let this happen? All this stuff. And it's just not beneficial, because no matter what, it is what it is. And you're not just going to like zap those pounds away. You have to pull those lessons that you learned and move forward. And that's what it is. And so, yeah, this is twofold, in support of Bobby and also in support of Mindy for making friends in the comments, because we love to see that happen. If you comment on someone else's comment, it only helps the video. It only helps get the word out there and let YouTube know that you're about this life, and I appreciate you. So thank you, Mindy, and thank you, Bobby, for your comment. This question is from Hennessy Samuels, but can't wait for the merch clothing line. As a bigger guy, we want to look cool and feel confident while working out, and sadly, dressing the part is part of that confidence. Looking forward to the line. So a few episodes ago, I talked about one of my goals for this year is to launch a clothing line. And I still plan on doing that. I've got some of the designs done. I'm very excited. I'm working with manufacturers. I'm not actually working with manufacturers. I'm looking for manufacturers. I make it sound way cooler way further advanced than I actually am. I'm looking for manufacturers, talking with a friend of mine. We're figuring that out. But it's going to take some time. But the reason I brought that up is I actually got sent some stuff from this company that I love. It is this company, Burlebo, Burlebo. I think it's Burlebo. Holy cow. It's, I don't know exactly how to say it, but they're awesome clothes. I'm wearing their shirt right now, Burlebo. It says greatness is a choice, and it also has greatness is a choice on the back. I love this shirt. They also sent me some shorts with greatness is a choice on the shorts. Love that. It's a great, I'm a big quote guy, and so greatness is a choice is a great quote, and super motivating. And so I was just, I'm a bigger guy, and I think that their shirts fit really well. I think those shorts fit really well, and so I would highly recommend you go check out Burlebo. Burlebo. I don't have a code or anything like that. They just sent me the clothes just to be nice. But yeah, I'll put a link down here. It's not a discount or anything, but I'll put a link down there and get you hooked up, because I loved their stuff. So support, they're a small family business. Support them. Get a shirt from them. I love it. I'm wearing a 2X right now, and I think it fits freaking great. I think a lot of times the problem is these shirts are too short for bigger guys. And so when I raise my arm up, it's like, oh, hey, great, there's half my belly. Even though it's a 2X and it fits me well everywhere else, the shirt's too short, and I just don't feel comfortable doing anything in them. These shirts are not. I think they're a great length. And so Burlebo, thank you so much for sending me that stuff. And let's get them some likes on Instagram, some clicks on the old website. I'll include everything down below. Love them. Again, I don't have a discount code or anything, but I love them. So this is actually a question that I got from Ethan LeBounty. When you were starting to lose weight and lifting weights, what exactly was your process going into the gym? Did you have a game plan of what you were going to do when you got there? How did you gradually build up your strength? Keep up the great work. I honestly, when I first started, I really had no plan ever. And I just, just kind of willy-nilly it, basically. I would say it wasn't until I started marathon training, or just training for that marathon during the year of 2020, that I actually had a set plan of okay, today I'm doing this, today I'm doing that. Usually I was like, okay, what body part is not sore? And then I'd go work that thing. You know what I mean? Like when I first started, I was mainly only doing elliptical, and incline treadmill a lot, but mainly elliptical. And, I just did what I could. I was just concerned about getting a burn, and I wasn't trying to overthink it. That is the biggest tip I can give to you. Don't worry about what the perfect set is or what the perfect breakdown is. What do I work on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? What a chest and back and buys and tries and, just start moving more. Too many people don't start their weight loss journey because they don't have the perfect coach, and they can't afford a coach, or they can't afford a trainer, or they can't afford this, they can't afford that. They want to have this, they want to have that set up before they start a plan. It's like, just start. Why are you making it so hard? Why are you making it so confusing for yourself? Just start moving, okay? And you will start to see progress. Now, obviously, there will come a time to where you need to dial it down and to get a little bit more educated on what you're doing and the movements and all that. But in the beginning, just start. Stop, doing this paralysis by analysis thing. Just get going. Move your body, and you will see progress. That is a huge problem with people that are starting this journey, because I get questions about it a lot. Well, I don't really want to start at the gym because I don't really know what I'm doing. You know how to walk, right? Okay. You know how to swim. Okay. Get on an elliptical, get on a treadmill, get in the pool, move your body, burn those calories, move, get a sweat in. And along the way, once you've already started and you got that momentum, save up for a trainer, save up for an online coach, buy a workout program, follow a program online, whatever you want to do, but you just got to start. Don't think that you have to have every single thing figured out for your journey before you get started. You don't have to do that. If you just start by drinking water and walking more, boom, you've started your weight loss journey. And do that. Do that for 3 months. And do it consistently. That's the kind of stuff that matters. Not figuring out how many reps. Do I do 8 reps or 12? I need to know, or I'm not doing it. What? Huh? Just get started. So yeah, to answer your question, like I didn't really have a plan at all. And now, I'm training for a half marathon. Well, I was, and then my foot got injured, and that's a whole other freaking update. But my foot's injured still, so I'm not running again. And so basically I'm just back on the elliptical like I started my weight loss journey. I'm back on the elliptical. It's the only way I can get my cardio in. I'm doing elliptical, and then I'm doing strength training. And that's it right now. But I've also done programs that we offer through LivingFit. Again, I'm the creative director for that company, so I obviously have a bias here, but I think they're great freaking workout programs. And it's it's an affordable monthly membership. You get access to over 30 different, full 30-day programs. So I would recommend one of those. Go check it out. Start for free. Hit me up. I'll try to set myself up with something to get you access for cheap or something, But go check out LivingFit. I think that's a really great option. Honestly, if you're starting and you don't really know where to start, they have a lot of different things. You don't need just kettlebells and battle ropes either. We've got a bunch of different programs, body weight programs, dumbbell program that's just about to launch. So there's a lot of stuff there. Highly recommend it. But like I said, don't not start because you don't have the perfect program lined up. Just start. Just start. I get really amped up about it because it's like too many people are just like dragging their feet. And I'm like, you got no time to waste. What are we wasting time for? To get started? What are you wasting time for? We're going to die one day. You got no time to waste, man. Get going, Drives me nuts. All right. This last one, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to this guy. And by this guy, I mean this dude. His YouTube name is The Dude. Thank you for sharing your story. I'm a military veteran who has gained so much weight after my time in service, mainly due to PTSD and depression. I'm a husband and a father, and I'm so tired of being labeled as lazy because of my size. In truth, I have struggled with weight my entire life. However, during my time in the Army, I lost weight, yet I gained most of it back after leaving the military. I want to change permanently. This is my starting point as I write this comment. As I work midnight shift to the early morning hours, I plan to wake up tomorrow afternoon and make this change happen. Thank you for your honesty and transparency. You have an inspiring story. The Dude. First of all, thank you for your service. I think you've done and gone through things that I've never had to experience, and I am very grateful for that. As fathers and as husbands, it's like we have such a responsibility to show up for ourselves. And I think it's very easy as a parent, not just a husband or a father, like just as a it doesn't, we don't have to bring gender into it, but like just as a parent in general, as a parent, you have this desire to just do everything for your kid and just focus on them. And then you get put on the way back burner, not just the back burner, but you're like in the storage closet burner. You know what I mean? So as a parent, you have to force yourself to put yourself as a priority, because your children will see you put yourself as a priority. And then in turn, they will learn that they are a priority as well, and they should prioritize themselves. Because if you are not a happy and healthy parent, you're not going to be happy and healthy to be around. And you have to exude that. And the only way to do that is to, set goals for yourself and then go after them. But in order to do that, you have to set yourself as a priority. And so it's hard to do. I know for myself, it's very hard to do, but there are some times where, just 3 days ago, I've been playing with my son a bunch, and then it got time to where I needed to go to the gym. I had to get to the gym or else I wasn't going to be able. This is the only time that day that I had to work out. I had to get it done. My son asked me, "Can you play Monster Trucks with me one more time?" And when I tell you, it broke my heart to tell him, "I'm sorry I can't play Monster Trucks with you right now because I have to go to the gym to work out." It's heartbreaking, and it's so hard to do. But I need him to see me working to be healthy. I need him to see me working towards my goals, and that comes with sacrifice. Now, I got to play with him for hours that day, but it doesn't matter. It's still hard to tell him, "No, I can't. I have to go work on my own goals right now." But those working for goals make me a better husband. They make me a better father. They make me a better person. And that is a priority to me. And it is hard, but it must be done. And so, for you, the dude, I hope that you find that, and I hope that you are able to draw that line in the sand where you have to be able to tell yourself, this sucks and it hurts, but I got to go. I got to go do it. I got to get up out of bed early, or I got to get up out of bed late, or I got to, whatever. I got to make sacrifices, but I have to be healthy because, I want to be around for my kids as long as possible. And if it means that I can only do monster truck games 5 times instead of 6, then that's what it means. But I've got to be healthy, and I got to be around longer. And in order to do that, I have to make myself a priority. It's not easy, but it must be done. So with that, I think that's all we want to talk about today. Or that's all I want to talk about today. I feel like, I'm pretty happy with this episode. I know I didn't have a guest like last week, but I still enjoy having these episodes where it's just me, because I think, it helps me get a lot of this stuff off my chest. And I feel like when I have a guest, maybe that doesn't happen as much. And I say that I've only had one guest, but you know what I mean? I feel the difference. Next week I do have a guest, and doozy of a guest. Doozy. Do not miss that episode. Do not sleep on that episode. I cannot wait to release that episode. Wow. Okay. Anyway, what we do around here, and we didn't do it last week, and shame on me, but what we like to do around here, for the people that make it to the very end of the podcast, you are such a select few percentage of the audience that actually makes it to the end of the podcast. And I'm not kidding when I say it's less than like 15% of people that make it all the way to the end. You are the true familia. You're the ones. You're the real ones, okay? The secret phrase of this week, or the message that we're bringing into this week, into this Familia episode, is make yourself a priority. Make yourself a priority. You have to make yourself a priority. And I know that once I made myself a priority, my life got better. I became a better parent. I became a better person to be around. And I think that's so, so important, but it's just hard to do. You feel selfish, but it's not selfish. It really isn't. Long-term, big picture, it's not selfish. Anyway, that's the phrase. Make yourself a priority. Get it straight. Get your mind right and get ready for next week because it's going to be a great episode. I can't wait. I mean, I think this episode was pretty good. I think, not to toot my own horn, I think it was pretty good. Thank you again. BPN, use the link. Use code FOCUS at checkout. Save yourself some money. Help your boy out. Use that code, and I will talk to you next week. I hope you have a great week. Thank you so much for listening, and I freaking appreciate you. I really, really do. Thank you. Peace.